In a small town in Eastern Europe lived a man named Thomas Weller, a tall, soft-spoken man with big dreams but no luck. For years, Thomas tried everything, running a bakery, driving taxis, even repairing phones. But no matter what he did, he barely made enough to survive. The economy in his country was sinking, bills were rising, and his spirit was breaking. One cold winter morning, Thomas sat in his tiny apartment staring at the ceiling. His heater had stopped working, and his bank account was nearly empty. He sighed and said to himself, "Maybe my life isn't meant to change here." That same day, he saw an online post from a friend who had moved to Lagos, Nigeria. The friend wrote about how Africa was full of opportunities, people building businesses, lands rich with resources, and a market hungry for innovation. At first, Thomas laughed. Africa? No way. But the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. He had nothing to lose. A month later, he sold everything he had and booked a one-way ticket to Nigeria. When Thomas landed in Lagos, he was overwhelmed by the heat, the traffic, and the noise. But he was also amazed. Everywhere he looked, there was movement, energy, life. He realized quickly that Africa wasn't what people back home described. It was full of ambition. He spent his first few months teaching computer skills in a local community center. He noticed something. Many young Africans had ideas but lacked access to simple tools, refurbished laptops, Wi-Fi routers, software, and training. That sparked an idea. Thomas used his last savings to start a small company called t4q Africa. He began importing old but functional laptops from Europe, fixing them up and selling them cheaply to students and startups. The business grew fast. Within a year, he had local partners, warehouses, and dozens of employees. His biggest breakthrough came when he collaborated with a group of young Nigerian developers to build low-cost learning tablets for rural schools. Governments and NGOs started buying in bulk. Within 5 years, t4q became one of the largest tech suppliers in West Africa. By his 6th year in Africa, Thomas had built houses in Lagos, Accra, and Nairobi. He employed over 300 Africans and sponsored scholarships for hundreds of children. Reporters began calling him the white man who found gold in Africa. Not because he mined gold, but because he discovered that the real treasure was opportunity and partnership. One day, as he sat on the balcony of his home overlooking the Lagos Lagoon, Thomas smiled and said, "Back home, I chased success. Here I built it, with people who believed in me even when I had nothing." He didn't just make money, he made a difference. And for the first time in his life, Thomas felt truly rich, not because of his wealth, but because Africa gave him something his homeland never did: a chance to grow.